and success-minded individuals, to helping them to succeed, not only in business, but to find fulfillment in life so that they can wake up and you can wake up with vibrant passion, live with purpose, and sleep with peace. Today, we're going to talk about taking the time to do what fulfills you. Please, please. This is so important. We only have one life. And I know it sounds cliche. We all know this, right? Like that we should take the time to do what fulfills us. I think many of us really want to be fulfilled, but it kind of gets lost in the busyness of life, okay? I just wanted to share, the reason I decided to talk about this today is because of my day yesterday with my son. It was so fantastic. And I felt so fulfilled at the end of the day. And I wanted to share that with you because I took the time, he finished his little daycare early. He finishes early once a week. And sometimes I get a babysitter, I bring him home and I get a babysitter, which he loves, to play with him for a couple hours while I finish up some work. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to ramp up. I'm going to ramp up the fulfillment in my life. I know he loves the babysitter, but I want to play with him, right? And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to take him on these days and do something really fun with him. So normally we have a really healthy diet at home, and that is why my son loves sandwiches. Not because sandwiches are healthy, but because they are the antithesis. Of course, you can have healthy sandwiches, but for him, sandwich is like crack or something, right? Because it's like, oh, he doesn't get to eat a lot of sandwiches. He eats a lot of like whole foods, just whole foods and a lot of vegetables and all that kind of stuff. So I said to him, hey, why don't we go out to one of his favorite restaurants and get one of his favorite things, which is sandwiches, and spend the afternoon together, right? So he's 3.5 and he was like really delighted. And I took him and we just spent like a beautiful time having lunch together and then going to the park. And one of the things, this is like a little bonus tool trick that I have mentioned before. So if you want to have a good time or you are with someone, because sometimes we decide to spend time with family members, with the intention of like being connected and getting closer and having a good time. But then that person doesn't cooperate and maybe they're in a bad mood and you get in a discussion or have a kerfuffle and then it's not fulfilling, right? So here's a little trick or tip. This can be used proactively or as a tool for intervention. I've mentioned it before, is telling a story that gets you in a great state. And then that also helps the other person get in a state because we tend to mirror each other's emotions, right? So I didn't even do this intentionally or on purpose, but we're sitting there and twiddling our thumbs waiting for the food. And I just thought, this is a perfect opportunity to tell him my life, about my life, So I was like, Mommy, after high school, I went to university and I studied this and that. And, when I went to the lectures, it was really interesting. And did you know Mommy went to graduate school? Do you know what graduate school is? And of course, he's 3.5. And this was actually kind of hilarious because he was like literally, like his eyes started glazing over with like boredom. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to put him to sleep. But nevertheless, I continued going because in fact, he loved it. Yes, he did. He loved it. Okay. I tell myself that and it's true. And, we had a great time and it was great because I got to share some of my life with him, which with a lot of details that maybe, he doesn't fully understand, but they kind of get in there. And also, planting some seeds in that, and spending some really good time because then he's very imaginative. So when I tell him a story, then he kind of talks back to me and starts telling me, he goes, well, when I also went to school and when I was bigger, I also went to university and, and he just like makes these little stories up. So We just had a really, really wonderful time. So the tip, the little tool, this is not the tool that I'm sharing today. It's a little side bonus, which I've shared before, is I told a story that got me into a really good state, because I went down memory lane into some happy memories. And by doing so, he also really enjoyed that and enjoyed connecting with me. So that's something you can do sort of proactively if you're worried about the person you might be spending time with for quality time. Okay. In any case, we had a wonderful, wonderful time. And then we went to the park, we went grocery shopping, and then we came home. And I actually worked a little bit in the evening, and my husband took care of him and then put him to bed and all of that good stuff. And I just, went to bed feeling so content and so fulfilled, because I took the time to do something that fulfills me. Okay. And I find a lot of the things I do very fulfilling. I find my work so fulfilling. As humans, we're complex creatures. We need a lot of pieces. If it was just my work, or if it was just my son, as wonderfully as he is, there might be a missing piece, right? So we need to kind of examine that. And that's something that I've talked about in other lives, and we'll talk about again in detail. But for today, what I really want to share is actually just take that time to do something that really fulfills you, because it's so sad to see you not doing it. Not you specifically, I know you're doing it, but I mean your neighbors. Because you really only have one life. What are you waiting for? Like sometimes we invest so much in working hard and doing all the right things to one day be happy. But that one day is never going to come. It's because it has to be the pattern that you create of your life. You have to create a pattern that of fulfillment, meaning that as you're living life, you're feeling fulfilled. You're feeling joy every day, in the things you do and how you spend your time and what you spend your time on. Okay? So it's important to prioritize that, do that with intentionality, and take the time to do those things that really fulfill you. So for today, I'm going to ask you to ask yourself 4 questions. The first question is, what activities do you enjoy and derive meaning from? Okay? Or that you find meaningful. What activities do you enjoy and find meaningful or derive meaning from? So this could be like spending time with a loved one. It could be some aspect of your work or a project or a hobby, relaxing. Maybe you don't watch enough of TV. I don't know. But that's why I said, not just enjoy, that you enjoy that are fun and meaningful. Okay, so take some time for that one. The second one, how much time in a given day or in a week do you spend on that activity? And the third one is, how would your life change? How would the quality of your life, your feelings, your energy, your mood, how would all of that change if you spent more time doing those things that you just listed? And the last thing is commit to doing some of those things, if not all of those things that you put on your list. Commit to do at least 3 to 5 of those things, or at least one of those things 3 to 5 times a week. You can select this, right? You can decide to be as generous as you want with yourself here, okay? It's your life. And I invite you to start living a more fulfilled and happy life. Okay, because it really pays. It really pays in all the ways that matter, I promise. So make that commitment. And when I say make that commitment, put it in your calendar. Block off the time, okay? Block off the time and make it happen so that you can start waking up with passion, living with purpose, and sleeping with peace. If you got value in today's episode, live, please like, share, follow, hit the bell for those notifications. And also, drop me some comments, okay? And if you want the list of my 20 life-changing books that help you to unlock your full potential and unleash your best self, then just drop me, message me on Facebook or Instagram, and or drop in the comments books, and I'll get that to you, okay? Have a good one. So remember to wake with passion, live with purpose, and sleep with peace. Take good care.